Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Well, this is absolutely going to piss off the Hatelens. It is going to piss off the Slows. They are going to scream and yell and throw themselves on the floor into a temper tantrum like the children that they are. After an injury-plagued sophomore season where she only played in 13 games, hadn't played since July, we all know Caitlin Clark came roaring back with the ultimate FU statement to the rest of the league, to all the haters who were talking about her shooting slump in her sophomore year. And it was all because the league figured it out and the league caught up to her and she's not that good. And it had nothing to do with her leg injury. It was just that she was never that good to begin with. So she comes back, makes her debut for the senior USA national team. First game, 17 points, 12 assists, came off the bench, completely dominated. In 5 games, the USA goes 5-0. Caitlin Clark wins MVP. Forget the Hatelens and all those screaming about how that was white supremacy. I even showed you a tweet where people were saying that Caitlin got, I mean, and the coaches who didn't actually start her 4 of the 5 games, played her out of position multiple times. They somehow were helping fix it. So Caitlin Clark got the FIBA MVP in her debut for USA basketball, showing everyone that Caitlin Clark, don't mind my glasses, Caitlin Clark, when healthy, is still her, and she is looking to have herself an absolutely insane 2026 season. Fingers crossed on how Stephanie White uses her. That is probably a conversation we will have multiple times during the season, depending on how things are going. One of the things we talked about a lot in 2024, because we know the full court press that the media put on that everything was Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Yes, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Do y'all remember the first? I think it came out in June. The first ranking for rookies. Rookies. Caitlin Clark was 6th. Now, keep in mind, I believe she had already, I can't remember if she already had her triple double, but I know she already had, I think, a couple of 30-point games before that list came out. And all we ever heard was, Angel Reese. Oh, it's so close, but I'm going to give it to Angel Reese, right? Monica McNutt's giving it to Angel Reese. Nell Duncan's giving it to Angel Reese. And Dawn Staley's giving it to Angel Reese. And they want to talk about, well, it's the team with the better record because Indiana, with their slow start to the insane schedule, Chicago Sky started out just a little bit better. We all know where they ended up, but they started out a little better. So people were using that as their reason because there, of course, was no evidence whatsoever. No sane person was looking at the seasons they were having and saying, yeah, the rookie of the year is Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark. So they had to find something that they could use that was sort of fact based. Now, the idea that you were using that to differentiate between rookie of the year and not rookie of the year was, of course, absurd. But at least it was legitimate that if you were saying, oh, well, I'm going to base it on the team with the better record, but of course, when Indiana caught Chicago and Chicago fell apart, never heard from any of them again about how the record was going to be the deciding factor. In fact, Caitlin didn't even get unanimous rookie of the year because someone, we still don't know who, voted for Angel Reese. Yet she did get all first team WNBA and she did finish 4th in MVP voting. And by the way, I'm not even saying she should have been higher. I mean, she could have. Like, if you told me she was 3rd, 2nd, or even 1st, I'd have no problem with it. But I had no problem with her finishing 4th either. Like, I'm not looking at that as one of those things. Oh, well, Caitlin got screwed because it's Caitlin Clark and she only finished 4th. I mean, come on, 4th in the league, your rookie year is MVP. But one of the things we also touched on here and there is they need to survive, right? And that is sports books, is what I'm talking about. So they got to be really, really good with their odds. And of course, the money flowing into teams or players or what have you affects those things, but the sports books have to reflect that. They have to be really good. They have to be outside of corruption and fixed games and all that. They have to be as objective as possible, much more so than the WNBA media, which are just a bunch of stands and a bunch of Caitlin Clark haters as well. They're no different than the players. They're petty. They're jealous. You know the drill. So, what do we have here? Caitlin Clark emerges as co-favorite for 2026 WNBA MVP after a strong USA tournament. And that's it. That is how dominant her stretch of games after 8 months, how dominant her stretch of games with USA basketball was in Puerto Rico. That, according to sports books, I think this was FanDuel, but let's double check. We'll get down to it. But anyway, that's how dominant her performance was for USA basketball, and that she is tied for the favorite for winning MVP in 2026. So let's check this out. Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark still on a high from what turned out to be a memorable first senior tournament for Team USA. After a lengthy spell on the sidelines due to a groin injury, and I think there was a couple others in there too, with all on the leg. Clark marked her comeback with an MVP level performance in the FIBA Women's World Cup qualifying tournament in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Led Team USA to a perfect 5-0 record, 11.6 points on 52.9% shooting. Keep in mind, like three-quarters of her shots were threes, and that's her shooting percentage. 1.6 rebounds, a tournament best, 6.4 assists, two triples in 21.2 minutes a game, her first senior tournament. So we all know we just had the CBA sign, and now here it is. Yes, and it is FanDuel. Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson tied as the favorite for best betting odds to win the WNBA MVP for the 2026 season. Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson at plus 240, followed closely by Nafisa Collier at plus 410, Brianna Stewart at plus 1,000, and Alyssa Thomas at plus 1,000. That one kind of surprises me a little bit. I don't know if Alyssa Thomas is really an MVP kind of player for me, but I guess that's a discussion for another day. Now, Fanbook, unlike those in sports media, ex-players, ex-coaches, me, uh, Fanbook has to put their money behind all of this, right? They need to get these things right a lot more often than they get them wrong, or they're out of business. It's almost, I'd almost really have to. I wasn't going to go into this, and that's why I'm struggling because I said I just really have to sit and think what that means about who Caitlin Clark is as a player for her to play 13 of 44 games because of injuries, not play in 8 months, make her debut for the USA women's national basketball team and the senior team, play 5 games, win MVP, and you go from that disaster of 2025 to, yeah, she's the favorite to win the MVP. Yes, co-favorite. She's tied with Asia Wilson. I'm not neglecting Asia Wilson. I just don't want to say that all the time because tied or not, she is the favorite to win MVP for the 2026 season. That is insane. Like, and it's again, it's one of the things. It's got me ramped up. I got to tell you, and hopefully a whole lot of you that maybe had disappeared are starting to come back and watch the channel and enjoy this journey with me because I am really really excited to talk more and more about Caitlin Clark as a basketball player because she is truly one of one. And the idea, thinking back to that post Olympic 2024, the idea of getting to watch that Caitlin Clark again with hopefully more talent around her than that team had, that's exciting, man. Like Caitlin Clark being Caitlin Clark, and I've talked about entertainment choices in other videos and stuff, but being Caitlin Clark, being able to be Caitlin Clark from someone who was not a women's basketball watcher. I mean, I paid attention to the league. I knew it was there. I knew it existed. I had new players' names and all that, but like it wasn't one of my sports that I watched. Caitlin Clark makes it so if it is a healthy Caitlin Clark. I will choose Caitlin Clark over other opportunities that I absolutely would never even think for a second of watching women's basketball over those if Caitlin Clark is not playing. She is just everything about her is different. Her on court, I don't. for lack of a better word, I know a lot of people like aura. I say charisma. Her, her presence as a leader on the court is just, one of those things you have or you don't, and she has it in spades. Her IQ of the game, her understanding of the game. Like if you really know basketball, to watch Caitlin Clark and really appreciate what's going on upstairs with her as she sees the game, reads the game, and makes decisions. It is incredible to watch. It is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. I'm looking forward to this. And oh man, could you imagine Caitlin Clark actually winning MVP this season? What that's going to do to a lot of people? I got to admit that part's a little fun too. Hopefully they make a deep run in the playoffs. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's get the title this season, and then everyone who wants to whine and complain about, oh, but no title, oh, but no title, but she hasn't won this, she hasn't won that. They all ignore the gold medals and all that. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out the video. Smash that like button, subscribe. I will talk to you later.